Hi there, and welcome to Football Manager Projects. Many of you may be here for the first time because this is the first time that I'm putting this up on YouTube. This actually is in connection with a blog that I'm running. You can find the link down in the description. We're playing with Real Salt Lake in the World Super League, and we're using Football Manager 2021. So we're a little bit behind the times, but hopefully not too bad. As you can see here from the screen, we've got 16 games played. We are in 20th position with 14 points. So we're not doing too well, but we're doing okay. And as you'll see in a second, we have a squad that is very, very young, filled with a lot of new gens, a lot of sort of computer-generated players, and a lot of surprises. And so with no further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into our match. We're going down to Guadalajara, down to play against Atlas, who are doing much better in the league than we are. And here we go at the dressing room, and we give them a little talk, as we usually do. We tell them we're the underdogs here, that suits us down, right to our bones. And with that, you're looking live at the scene from Guadalajara, Mexico, as Real Salt Lake come and try to take on and hopefully do well against Atlas. And there we are with the ball on the right-hand side. That's Roxo. This is one of these guys who I just brought up from the reserves because of a injury and lack of fitness crisis that we have on the right side. As you know, if you've been following this, usually we have Shohu on the right side, but he is on holiday after being completely exhausted because of how much I've been overplaying him. That's kind of the way that the save has been. We haven't been doing too poorly with injuries, but every now and then we get an injury or two that puts us in this sort of lurch where we have to use whoever we've got. We have a few other players, if you haven't watched this at all before, who have come up recently, either from the reserves or under 18s, who are looking good. In fact, we have two of them up front right now. You won't see them at the moment, though, because we're letting Atlas sort of walk right all over us. But we were able to get done with that attack from them pretty soundly and pretty handedly. And there you go. And here we are moving along with the game. So you may be wondering why it is that I've decided at this point in time, right in the middle of the save, to go to YouTube. It's quite simple. As much as I love Substack for writing, in terms of video quality, video editing, and things like that, it's really not that great. They require everything in MP4 format, and I can't do basic things like put the video down further in the in my writing, which is precisely what I wanted to do to begin with. And so we're going to try this as another type of experiment and just sort of see where we get. I can't say that was great defense by us, but at least that ball wasn't anywhere headed for goal. That's always something that has me worried. Now, Schubert, who we have in goal, who's young, about 18 years old, I think, is actually quite good. The problem that we have are the defenders in front of him. Oliveira hopefully is going to have a good game. He's had a couple of real stinkers here recently. The problem that we have with him on the right side is that we really don't have anybody else to play there who is quite ready for this level, and that's sort of the way that the season's been so far. I actually think we're doing pretty well to be in 20th place given all that's happened. And here comes Rodriguez, one of our gazelles, and look at him go, pass, baby. Well, Rodriguez sort of puts a little bit of a cross in front. We want him to pass to Carmona there, who's our other gazelle young striker. The two of them should be able to run circles around this Atlas defense if they can get in sync. This is, however, the first time that they've been playing together to start a game out, so we'll see what happens. There's Carmona. I told you he had some speed. Oh, baby, and we just missed that shot. just right, wide to the right side, just barely missing goal there. Carmona was a player who was hiding out in the reserves, and I brought him up because he was absolutely dominating the competition. The same is true for Rodriguez, who was playing very, very well all of a sudden. Both of them are very, very fast, and they know this offense well. And here comes Rodriguez, and, wasn't quite that fast that time. I thought if he was able to get past that last man, maybe something would have happened, but he was slowed down, unfortunately. I've done a little bit more playing around with the attacking corners after watching Lelujo's most recent video. We don't have very many really outstandingly tall players, which is part of the problem that we have. As you can see with Rodriguez, man, if he has just that little bit more of a burst of speed after getting that first touch, then he's home free. Let's see another corner here and see if Cruz can put this one in where we want it. Not quite, and no luck on any sort of penalty or anything like that where we've scored an embarrassing number of our goals. Cardozo puts that one in, but unfortunately Cruz is offside. That's actually kind of a rarity. We don't get calls like that too frequently. Usually, instead of guys running offside, we have opposing teams scoring on us. Now, there's a corner that goes nowhere from Atlas. That was a little bit strange for a highlight, but Correa is able to corral it in and get the header to go right past Schubert, who looks pretty helpless there. I just took a quick look at the rating so far in this game, and it looks like we're having some problems with both of our defenders on the side. We're going to make some changes there at halftime. Who is this? Yeah, it's Cruz there, who's the one who I saw is playing poorly. We have Zhang Shilin getting really his first start of the season back at center back as well. He's another young player that we brought in mostly because of some concerns and worries that we've had with other defenders. We had a defender named Hugo Morales who I've had to sell because of his inability to play for us and his love of scoring own goals. And that's the sort of season it's been so far. Like I said, 20th position is actually not too bad, all things considered. And here's Oliveira over to Roxo Passett. That didn't quite work. We have to learn that when we have the ball in that position, actually what we really want to do is we want to try to get a cross over to one of these excellent strikers that we have who are able to get past the defense. See, if he passes it right there, we have 1-2 men who are running towards the middle, and maybe something would happen. But so it is. And now Football Manager feels it necessary to glitch out. And there's Onyuha, our elder statesman, the only actual member from Real Salt Lake's 2020-2021 squad who is still on our team. He is going to retire in about 2 weeks in game, so you won't see very much more of him. But that was a beautiful in-swinging corner and a great goal for him. I think that's his second goal this season. So we'll take them while we still can, and we'll keep cashing in our chips as long as we got them. Atlas there with a attack, and there's Correa again for a second. He must be offside. Let's see what the ref says. There's no way. All right, moment of truth here. Yeah, goal disallowed. I thought it was pretty clearly offsides. We'll take a quick look at the replay. It's these replays, I think, that's slowing the game down inexplicably. We have, Correa is not only offside, he's offside by about a yard. Pretty easy call, I thought. 1-1 at halftime is pretty good for facing a team that's so far above us in the league. So now we'll see what happens. I guess I can say we've been the better team here. I don't know if I really believe that. A lot of the boys are not having good games, so Zhang Shilin we take out. Yeah, we're going to have to put Semple in, unfortunately. Cruz suddenly is having a fairly good game, and I'm almost tempted to do this. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to put Cruz in there for Paredes, and we'll put Burke back on. We'll put Papazov in for Oliveira, and we're going to do a quick change here and put Dirkner in for Cardozo. If you haven't watched, if you haven't read previous episodes, Cardozo was sent off with a red card a couple of games back and ended up suspended for 3 games. And so we're kind of slowly trying to get him back into the flow of things. A lot of these very, very young players who don't have a lot of experience and who really kind of need to be babied in, and I haven't been doing much babying in of anybody. Around these parts, if you're able to play, you play, and if you're healthy, you play, and if you give me any lip, then you're gone. And that's the way we do it. Look at Holm with that incredible play, and then just hoping he doesn't get a red card. I don't know what in the world Holm is doing. He's supposed to be the attacking midfielder, and he looks like he's playing in the defensive midfielder position. As it stands, it's pretty poor defense from us. Holm is the only one who seems to know what he's doing. It's the first time I think I've ever seen that in Football Manager. And that is our man Papazov, who was beaten on the side, and there's not much we can do about that. And I can say that kind of expected that coming when we were putting him in, and there's not too much, unfortunately, we can do about that. Now, Atlas again with another cross on the inside. Onyuha takes that one away, and they've given a foul, I guess. I have a real hard time believing this, but the penalty is awarded, and so it is. This is one of those situations where I really wish that Football Manager would give me a replay of the foul instead of, as it will do in a second, give me a replay of the penalty that thankfully was missed. That was an absolutely bizarre foul. I didn't see anything wrong with that. Maybe handball I could understand. But a foul? At least give me something that looks sort of like a foul. We have one more substitution remaining here. It's 5 of 9 is the rule. And so we have to be a little bit careful about what we want to do. And it looks like of all of our poor players, Holm is having the worst game. We're going to put Fonseca in for Holm. And sort of see where we go from there. Holm is our one player who's on loan. And Odin Thiago Holm, a favorite of mine from prior Football Manager 2021 saves, who in this particular save has never really played up to his potential and has actually been quite frustrating. Let's encourage these players and see if we can get at least some signs of life out there. This isn't looking so great. Roxo was the other one who I was thinking about replacing. I mean, it's kind of hard to ask for a guy who's never played above the reserves to play a full game like this, but I'm afraid that that's what we're going to have to do. That was is that Carmona there stopping because he was offside. And then we try it again. I mean, all we can do is sort of send bursts of long balls above the opposition and hope that we get one of the fast players to pick up on them. That's Burke there with that nice clearance, but he doesn't clear it out far enough, unfortunately, which is a problem because of the quality of our central defenders. And we're just giving them way too much time. Schubert, though, with safe hands. I tell you, Schubert has had more than ample opportunity to show us in this season what he's made of with this type of defending, where we're just sort of standing around waiting for something to happen. I'll see if they let me make another shout, and it's not quite time yet, as we are running out of time in this one if we want to do anything, and it's another corner for Atlas. And I have kind of a bad feeling about this. No, it goes nowhere. Fortunately, another one that's blasted over the bar. Having said that, if we want to get anything out of this match, even a single point, we kind of need a goal here, guys. We're running out of time, and it's looking pretty bad. And it's that helpless feeling where there's really nothing you can do but sit back and sort of hope and pray that it goes better than you think it will. Atlas has just been all over us here in the second half. It's funny because Holm gets his bad ratings. That was off the post. Holm gets these bad ratings, but then as soon as he's off the pitch, it's like we can't play. We can't muster any sort of offense no matter what we do. Now, I mean, we come into these games with disadvantages. These players are all young. It's a team mostly full of teenagers. And we make plays like that are totally ridiculous. I'm not entirely sure why we're seeing a highlight here because it doesn't look like there's anything actually highlight-worthy going on unless we're going to do something all of a sudden. But nope, unfortunately, nothing is going to happen. And so that's it for today's game, a 2-1 loss for us, which I think really compliments us. I think that that's probably much better than we deserved considering how we looked for most of this match. Now, if you want to find more information about this, if you want to learn more about my save, please check again in the description for the link. If you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a comment down below. Go ahead and subscribe, and we'll get more of these videos. I plan to put one out every day, and we'll see you later. Take care.